Hello, yes, it's me again. I did put this on my blog, but I'm not sure whether I made a video about it. I went to Poppleton Garden Centre the other day. It was actually it's Poppleton Community Garden Centre, which is not the Wyvale one. It's a little one that's apparently owned by the railways in Poppleton. And you know, it's meant to be sort of nurturing and caring for and giving something to do with people who have mental health difficulties or whatever. And one of the things that I was shown, like one of the things that someone was asked to do, was to sterilise a load of compost from each pot, to empty each pot and sterilize it, to apparently so that apparently plants could be kept pure, and so that you didn't have to weed, but it would probably kill all the bacteria and worms, and, you know, give them at least a hard time. And you know, also it would use up an awful lot of electricity, and, you know, it would be a terrible idea, actually. So I did walk out of there. I then rang up St Nick's in it used to be called St Nicholas's Fields, I think, but St Nick's it's called now, at Tang Hall, which is like some sort of gardening eco project. They are meant to also have an interest in putting pressure on the council to recycle things. I don't know how well that's going, but anyway, I spoke to someone there called Ivana. And she told me that this is a practice across the board of garden centres. I'm afraid, I mean, I don't even know whether it's just in Britain or whether it's worldwide, to sterilise all the soil. You know, and, you know, like, this is absolutely catastrophic. I don't know who is in charge of these garden centres, or who has thought that this might be a good idea, but I'm sorry, I think in my book it's a very bad idea. Now, there's also, like, there's this Swedish Soil Institute place, no, sorry, Stockholm Soil Institute place associated with the university, and someone I know is working for it. He kind of rather depressedly started talking about putting coffee grinds in the soil from all the coffee shops in York. You know, I know that we did used to talk about putting tea leaves on roses, but coffee grinds mixed up in the soil, I'm really not quite sure about that. There was also, like, there is also a compost toilet idea, and Ivana told me that that is, as I suspected, a bad idea, and that you have to keep your excrement and stuff away from crop growing, ideally. So like, you do probably need, we have in England in place at the moment some kind of sewer system. So recognition has to be given to the people who are maintaining the sewage system, and we've got to acknowledge and be grateful for what's going on there. And possibly some other countries could be given more help when it comes to that sort of thing as well. I don't know what all the chemical treatments and everything are involved in that. But you do definitely have to keep your excrement away from crop growing. I know that horse manure was good sometimes for crop growing as well. but I don't think human excrement and wheat is. But she did tell me, again reminded me, because actually my granddad used to keep a compost heap. So everybody who's got a garden should keep a compost heap to put all their peelings of fruit and vegetables, if they're not being fed to animals, you know, which is also a good idea. But you know, to put them in a compost heap to nurture the soil, and to make a richer compost that can be then spread on the soil once it's rotted a bit. Okay, so anyway, yes, I did try and involve quite a lot of people in this discussion about all this soil being heated up, because like I thought it was dreadful. I must say that years ago I went to Cornwall and I went to the Echo Centre there, and I was alarmed. It was, I saw, opened by the Queen, and it was growing all sorts of odd plants for show. I don't know whether it's sort of some sort of, I don't know whether it's something of the botanical gardens or the Kew Gardens. I don't know whether the Queen is being made a fun of, because there was nothing about growing food or, you know, ordinary our native flowers, or how to perpetrate our native flowers, and you know, it was all looking very odd. It was nice for children in some respects for the short term, but when it came to the long term, I don't know whether they were really thinking about what was going on. Also, we had the dog with us. Now, it's terrible to leave a dog in a car all day, to look around an eco village or an eco centre or whatever. But everybody was getting there. There were traffic jams all the way there to go and have a look at this eco centre. And funnily enough, they were so sure that you were going to be leaving the dog in the car all day that they'd provided a sheltered place so that the dogs didn't get too hot. And there were lots of tea and coffee places within this eco centre again. But as I say, I'm worried that the Queen might be made fun of. But I don't know whose idea it is, because as I say, I'm worried that this might be worldwide, this problem about heating soil up and just being absolutely mad about the whole thing. So hoping, oh yes, no, there is another aspect to this. At Poppleton Garden Centre, now this is Wyvale, like it's, you know, this is the Wyvale Garden Centre. I have just managed to pick up a great big bag of bulbs for £9.99. Now it says on them that they're narcissus bulbs, but the picture looks like daffodil bulbs. So like anyone in York that is watching this, I urge you to keep the bees going, to go and buy. They had great big piles of them, these daffodil bulbs at Wyvale Garden Centre, because, like, you know, that whatever's happening, whatever has been happening, and I hope it stops, this might be all we're left with. So we've got to just this might be a sensible solution, I'm hoping. So please, everybody in York, get down to Wyvale now and get planting these, hopefully daffodils, or maybe a mixture of daffodils and narcissi or whatever in your garden. Okay then, bye for now. Bye.